In late August 2010, London police were called to a flat in Pimlico, a short walk from MI6 headquarters. Inside, they discovered a scene that would haunt British intelligence for years to come. Gareth Williams, a 31-year-old mathematics genius from Anglesey working for GCHQ and seconded to MI6, lay lifeless in a most unusual and disturbing position. His body was found inside a large red North Face holdall, zipped shut and secured with a padlock. The bag had been placed in the bathtub, and when investigators opened it, they found the keys lying beneath his body inside the bag. This discovery marked the beginning of one of the most mysterious and unsettling cases in modern British espionage history. Gareth Williams was no ordinary man. He had been a prodigy in mathematics, completing his A-levels at the age of 13 and earning a PhD in his teens. His brilliance carried him to the heart of Britain's intelligence services, where he specialized in code-breaking and cybersecurity. Friends and colleagues described him as quiet, private, and focused, but those closest to him knew he was also kind and meticulous. For someone so precise in his work and habits, the strange and chaotic circumstances surrounding his death made the story even harder to believe. The last confirmed sighting of Gareth alive was on the 15th of August, 2010. Days passed without him being seen at work, but curiously, his absence was not immediately reported. MI6 did not notify authorities until more than a week later, a delay that drew heavy criticism and would become an enduring source of suspicion. By the time police entered his flat on the 23rd of August, the body was badly decomposed, and vital forensic evidence had already begun to vanish. From the start, investigators faced a riddle. How could a man have placed himself inside a locked holdall with the keys left beneath him? Multiple experts attempted to replicate the act, and none succeeded. Specialists in escapology and forensic testing tried dozens of times to zip themselves into the bag and lock it from the inside. Each attempt failed. The most likely explanation, many concluded, was that another person had been involved in securing the bag. Yet if someone else had been present, the evidence did not show it. No usable DNA, no fingerprints, no fibers belonging to another person were found on the bag, the padlock, or even the bathtub rim. It was as though the scene had been scrubbed clean of all traces. The case quickly captured headlines as the spy in the bag mystery. Newspapers speculated endlessly about what could have happened. Some reports focused on his personal life, pointing out that items of women's clothing and wigs had been found in his flat, as well as evidence he had visited bondage websites. These details fueled theories that his death might have been the result of a private sexual experiment gone wrong. Others rejected that theory outright, insisting Gareth was too careful, too intelligent, and too private to put himself in such a dangerous position. Another theory suggested his death was linked to his intelligence work. Some speculated he might have uncovered sensitive information, crossed paths with a foreign spy, or even been silenced to keep him from revealing something. The lack of evidence made every possibility both plausible and impossible at the same time. In 2012, a formal inquest was held. After months of hearings and testimony, the coroner, Fiona Wilcox, delivered what became known as a narrative verdict. On the balance of probabilities, she concluded, Gareth Williams had been unlawfully killed. She rejected the idea that he had locked himself in the bag and declared it far more likely that another person was involved. She also criticized the handling of the case, noting that delays, poor communication, and mistakes by both MI6 and the police had cost investigators crucial evidence. Despite this, no suspects were ever identified, and no charges were filed. Gareth's family was left devastated, convinced that their son and brother had been murdered but without answers or justice. For years, the case drifted in and out of public attention. Documentaries revisited the mystery, journalists dug into possible spy connections, and internet forums buzzed with speculation. But the official investigation remained largely static. Then, in 2021, the Metropolitan Police launched a new forensic review. Advances in DNA technology promised a chance to re-examine the evidence in ways that had not been possible a decade earlier. The holdall, The padlock, the keys, and other items from the flat were retested with the hope that even the smallest trace of foreign DNA might be found. Forensic science had come a long way, and families of cold case victims often found hope in these new methods. That review lasted into late 2023. Scientists and investigators worked meticulously, running samples through cutting-edge analysis. Items from the flat, including a towel from the kitchen and surfaces around the bathroom, were scrutinized for genetic material. The results were released in February 2024, and they were not what the family had hoped for. The review found no new DNA evidence. Every trace identified in the flat belonged to Gareth Williams himself. Nothing pointed to another person being in the room at the time of his death. No additional leads were uncovered, no hidden forensic trail revealed. The verdict of the review was stark. There was no new evidence to change the official picture. Detectives acknowledged the disappointment. They stated that the case remained open in principle and that they would investigate any credible new information that emerged. But the forensic review provided no breakthrough. For Gareth's family, who had spent more than a decade searching for answers, the news was devastating. They had long believed and still believe that Gareth was killed by another person, yet official findings continued to leave them with uncertainty. The contrast between the 2012 inquest and the 2024 forensic review is striking. The coroner declared it highly unlikely Gareth could have locked himself in the bag, and she believed unlawful killing had occurred. The forensic review, on the other hand, could find no evidence to support the involvement of another person. The gap between these two conclusions highlights the frustrating ambiguity of the case. Gareth's death remains suspended between two competing narratives. One that suggests foul play, and another that leaves the possibility of a bizarre accident or unexplained act of self-confinement. The mystery of Gareth Williams also raises deeper questions about the intersection of secrecy, intelligence work, and justice. The delay in reporting his absence by MI6 has never been fully explained. Why was no one alarmed sooner when a brilliant codebreaker stopped coming to work? Why were some of his possessions reportedly not handed over to police in a timely manner? These questions fuel suspicion that intelligence agencies may know more than has been revealed, or that mistakes were made that will never be admitted. As of 2024, the truth remains elusive. Gareth Williams's life was marked by brilliance, discipline, and service to his country. His death, however, has become a haunting enigma that resists resolution. The image of a young man locked inside a bag in his own flat has become one of the most unsettling mysteries of the modern intelligence era. With no new DNA, no new leads, and no suspects, the case is once again left in limbo, unsolved and unanswered. The story of the spy in the bag is not just about Gareth Williams. It is about the limits of forensic science, the failures of institutions, and the persistence of mysteries even in an age of technology and surveillance. It is about a family still searching for truth, a public still asking questions, and investigators caught between possibility and proof. And so the mystery endures. A young man who devoted his life to codes and secrets became a secret himself, one that even the sharpest minds have not cracked. Unless new evidence surfaces, the truth about Gareth Williams may never be known. But mysteries like this matter because they remind us that justice is not guaranteed, even for those who serve at the heart of power. If this story has gripped you, share it, keep it alive, and demand answers. Every voice adds weight to the call for truth. Like this video, subscribe for more and join us in uncovering the cases that refuse to be forgotten.